So Brandon Miller just fumbled generationally bad as far as fumbling the bag. It seems like the man fumbled the bag generationally bad, and it's not looking great for Ingram, who might end up back with the Lakers. Sure, he signed with Clutch, which means they're going to probably push everyone to play with LeBron. But this is a really, 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 really bad look. But anyway, before we get on to that, speaking of fumbling generationally, man, I'm fumbling hoopsmas. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm going to try to get 10 videos out every day, but I just physically can't do it. I'm too busy for the rest of December. I give you guys permission to unsubscribe if you want. You only subscribe for the 10 videos a day. However, if you guys are interested in subscribing anyway, just for basketball content, we're still going to upload 7, 8 a day. I just can't commit to 10 a day because there's going to be days like tomorrow or yesterday where I'll get 4 or 5 and I'm just can't do anything more. But Brandon Ingram right now. Brandon Ingram reportedly turned down major contract offer. New Orleans Pelicans star reportedly turned down a contract worth $50 million a year. And Brandon Ingram out indefinitely. Brandon Ingram nearly pulled off the heist of the century. And I don't know if it was him that said no or it was his agent that said no, but they almost pulled off the heist of the damn century. A $50 million a year contract. And by the way, if you guys have not seen Brandon Ingram has not played 70 games in a season since his rookie year. He got blood clots in his third year. He has not played over 64 games since he had the blood clot issue. Yes, I get it. He was an all-star in the 1920 season. He was an all-star once. He has not played, since his all-star year, 61 first, it was 61 and 72, 55, 45, 64, 18 and out indefinitely. The guy's more injured than Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson's at least played 70 games in a season. That wasn't his rookie year. He did it once, but he did it. He did it last year, heck. But the Pelicans and Brandon Ingram are currently competing in a rock and hard place. The team doesn't have the money to extend him at a price he wants. The star wants to be traded, but also his value is lower because of his ankle sprain. The way the dominoes are currently falling, it seems more likely he gets traded and not extended. According to Shams, they didn't have the salary cap to give him what he wants. They're both really bouncing trade versus extension since the offseason. As it stands, because of their salary cap situation, and next year an extension, even as current year to come, an extension even as current salary of $36 million, they just can't reach. As of right now, that's what makes the trade route more likely. And let's listen to what the Shams fella has said.
Where do the Pelicans stand with Brandon Ingram?
They've been really balancing trade versus extension since the offseason. As it stands right now, because of their salary cap situation for this year and for the next years to come, an extension at even his current salary at $36 million, they just can't reach it as an organization as of right now. That's what makes, from what I'm told, the trade route more likely. But the Pelicans' price threshold, as well as Ingram's recent significant ankle sprain, that impacts how this could play out. And when you think about the last couple off seasons, Brandon Ingram turned down an extension of $50 million per year in 2023 and an extension of about $40 million from what I'm told this past off season. And so how do you communicate with his new agents, with the organization now, to find the right extension or the right trade? That's something that both sides will navigate. I expect him to have a robust.
That is mental. No wonder he fired his agent. That is generational fumbling the bag. I'm going to refuse I'm going to refuse an extension for $50 million. Then we're going to refuse an extension for $40 million. And now suddenly my team can't even offer me $30 million. A generational fumble. Perhaps the most shocking news is the fact that he turned down a $50 million contract extension. Now it looks like the Pelicans can't even match $36 million. Think about the last couple of off seasons. This is almost, I wonder where this goes in the generational fumbles. Is this Oladipo-esque? I wouldn't call it Oladipo-esque. I think, because Oladipo didn't have a 4 or a 5 year max deal to come off. And then Dennis Schroeder, maybe. The Dennis Schroeder contract situation is wild, considering how good Dennis Schroeder's been. In fairness, he did sign. Did he sign a 4 year? He just signed a 4 year 70. Okay, so it's not the worst. It's not the worst. So for this season, he did end up signing a... Oh no. Did he turn down a 4 year 70? but he signed a 2-year, $25 million. So he's still going to be extremely wealthy. And if you're smart about it, you can turn that wealth into generational wealth. And he did have a 4-year, $70 million contract with the Hawks, so it's not too bad. But like, this is up there with those generational fumbles. This might be like the Nerlens Noel one, the huge fumble. Like, Nerlens Noel fumbled so badly he sued Clutch Sports. I'm sorry, betting on yourself doesn't work most of the time. Like, genuinely, like, why? What is the agent doing? Like, he has lost potentially. Let's just say even if it was 3 years, that's $150 million. Brandon Ingram is not going to make. Like, is Brandon Ingram going to make $30 million if he gets traded anywhere? And I'm not joking when I say that. Like, Brandon Ingram is a 1-time All-Star, a 0-time All-NBA player, and a 1-time 70-game-a-season player. And that was 7 years ago. Like, that, you want to know the last time Brandon Ingram played 70 games. The BBALL Daily channel still had not been made. Like, I was BBALL Daily. I was DBG, then I was BBALL Daily for a while, then DBG took off again, and then I was the WNBA channel, Mick Talks Hoops, and there was a brief period I was the DB Goal FIFA YouTuber, and I mean, DBG Docs did pretty well. I've had about 10 YouTube channels since he played 70 games. All of them did pretty well at different stages. And yeah, it's just like, it's a horrible fumble. It's generational, in fact. Like, it's as much of a generational, like, this is the real generational fumble. I thought Brandon Miller being taken over Scoot was going to be a generational mistake. Brandon Ingram not taking $50 million a year and then doubling down and not taking $40 million a year, when I wouldn't be that surprised. I think there's probably a team out there dumb enough to give him $50 million a year. Do you reckon there's a team dumb enough to do that? I think there are a lot of really dumb teams in the NBA, and I think a lot of people, like Jamal Murray's getting $50 million a year, and I actually think Brandon Ingram's a better player than Jamal Murray. I know they play different positions. Give me Brandon Ingram over Jamal, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think he was right to bet on himself? Because most times in the NBA, players betting on themselves does not work. Especially if you are getting a near max. If you are getting minimum $20 million a year, betting on yourself does not work. If you're getting $6-7 million a year, go bet on yourself. But we saw it with DeMarcus Cousins taking the mid-level exception instead of a 4-year $80 from New Orleans. And he was never on a non-minimum contract the rest of his career. Like, if you're getting offered $20 million plus, it seems like it's never the correct decision to ever bet on yourself, because heck, going from 20 to 40 million hurts, or is a lot less of a positive than going from 20 or that a year than going from 20 million to 2 million a year. You go from 80 million is generational wealth from the end of that contract. Even 40 million can be generational wealth. 8 million, if you go back to 2 million for 4 years, is not good at all. Anyway, I'll see you guys.